A 1-point lead. For more on Amari Stoudemire's back problems, let's go to David Aldridge.
Well, Marv, the prognosis a little more optimistic on Stoudemire. He's now listed as probable to return with those back spasms. As you saw during the first half, he's lying on his stomach in the locker room right now, trying to get manipulated, trying to get those spasms to calm down. But the Knicks are encouraged that they think he may be able to come back in the second half. Obviously a big turning point in this series and in this game.
Amari had a sensational game one, 12 of 18 from the field, 28 points, just 2 of 9 in the first half. From the Knicks point of view, all Carmelo Anthony in that first half.
Yeah, he was great, and his activity level was much better than it was in the first game. And you look at the numbers across the board: 16 points, 10 rebounds, 4 assists. And I think New York was the aggressor for the most part in that first half. And as you look at the McDonald's game summary, look at the numbers. Knicks only shot 33%, but they took 10 more field goal attempts than Boston did. And the rebounds were big. And that we talked about that at the beginning of the telecast. 32-21 in favor of New York.
High point man for the Celtics, Rajon Rondo, in his 20 minutes, 7 of 12, 18 points. Low assist number, which was the case in game one, where they let Rondo have his shot from the outside. In this instance, in the first half, he was able to split through. It was basically a layup for Rondo.
It had nothing to do with the strategy of leaving him open. It had everything to do with the lack of transition defense for New York.
Here is Anthony. That's waved off. The call is away from the ball. Now they say 3-second violation on the Knicks. So Celtics get a break. In the first half, game was tied 8 times. We saw 11 lead changes. Boston led by as many as 10 after missing their first 7 shots. They were able to get going, led by Rondo, but the Knicks able to do it off the boards. Carmelo Anthony with that huge first half, rebounding and scoring. Knicks trying to tie up the series at 1 apiece. Game 3 of the Garden in New York on Friday night. Boston trying to take a 2-0 lead. Here's Anthony with a deep 3.
And that was a great possession because the Knicks got plenty of movement first that led to that shot. The other night in game 1, Carmelo was taking that shot off of a standstill, stagnant offense for the Knicks, and this is a totally different deal when they get movement.
Off the steal, here comes Douglas. Tony Douglas playing with the 3 fouls. Sean Williams starting the second half in the absence of Amari Stoudemire. Anthony again for 3, and it's rebounded by Pierce, and he will keep firing away.
Yes, he will.
Allen. Yes. That the same spot from Sunday night's game winner.
Yeah, and Rondo will not get credit for anything statistically there, but by pushing the ball and then giving up the ball, it allowed for that ball movement and the spacing and Allen's open look.
Fields coming up short. Turiaf looking to save it. Trying to deflect it off Rondo, but Rondo was already out of bounds.
Well, Marv, for Knicks fans and the Knicks team, this is, you've seen this movie before and you don't like the way it ends. I mean, this is all about the second half and the mentality of the Knicks as Jermaine O'Neal shoots the air ball. But can they stand up to the Celtics defense and the physical play? Look at the numbers in the second half. And New York just unable to get anything going offensively throughout the 5 games of this season series plus playoff.
It's a Boston team that allows only 91 points a game, which is first in the league, while the Knicks during the regular season gave up 106 per game, but obviously held the Celtics in check. The other night in game 1, here's Anthony getting it down low, and that did not hit the rim.
I think Bennett Salvatore called a foul first before the shot clock buzzer.
Would have been a 24-second violation, but the foul instead on Ray Allen.
Now Doc Rivers asking Bennett right there, was it after the clock? And apparently Bennett quite sure of himself.
So here is Turiaf.
always a tough call for an official to make because everything happens so quickly, and then that shot clock buzzer goes off. And I think he got it right, just from my vantage point, without looking at the replay.
Turioff now 3 of 3 at the line. Game the other night with points 3 and 4 to give the Knicks a 3-point edge. And the foul is on Carmelo Anthony. That's his second. The Knicks starting the second half without Amari Stoudemire, who appeared to be struggling. 2 of 9 from the field in the first half, and as David Aldridge reported, suffering with back problems as Rondo once again able to take it to the rim.
Well, it's hard to imagine the Knicks winning this game without Stoudemire here in the second half, particularly with all the second half problems they've had anyway, even with Amari. And remember the other night, he was their only weapon in that fourth quarter. He's the only guy who did anything.
Williams on the move is fouled. He is blocked. O'Neal was trying to pick up the charge call, so Jermaine with his second personal.
Well, this is what Rondo does so well. When he feeds the post, he cuts, and he's so quick. And then once he gets around the rim, he's a beautiful finisher with either hand.
Sean Williams, 83% at the line, but not that many free throw attempts. The Knicks without both Amari Stoudemire and Chauncey Billups, so Mike D'Antoni starting Tony Douglas. And it's been a combination of Douglas and Anthony Carter at the point. Billups out with a strained left knee. 51-49, the Knicks with the lead. 3 minutes in, third quarter. Marv Albert with Steve Kerr and David Aldridge from the TD Garden. Boston. Allen, yes. So Allen's hit a 3 and a 2. He now has 12. Opening up, hitting both shots in the early moments of the third quarter. Fields with nowhere to go and lost it. The ball back to Boston. Douglas got picked off by Garnett. Here's Garnett. A deep shot by Garnett. Back tap by O'Neal, but Anthony is on it. Last touch by Garnett.
Well, you know, Marv, over the years, since Garnett has been in Boston, the Celtics defense has basically been a zone. I mean, Tom Thibodeau put the defense in that the strong side gets overloaded with their bigs, and they can get away with it when they're facing this lineup with the Knicks because there's no Billups and no Amari. So they can overload on Carmelo, play off of Turioff and off of Fields a little bit, and really load up that defense.
Shot clock running down, and Anthony had to fire away, and he's upset. He thought he was fouled. So Carmelo hearing it from this crowd.
Now here's the Garnett effect that we talked about. Look at those numbers defensively. And he is so dynamic as a defender because of his ability to cover so much ground. And you know, defense really, especially these days in the NBA, is defined by your 4s and your 5s and how they play pick and roll, how they can cover ground and respond. And that's what Garnett does so well.
Paul Pierce. So the Celtics hitting their shots here at the start of the third quarter, and they've taken a 2-point lead.
You can just feel it coming. You know, that defensive surge where they get physical and they just choke off the offense. It's something the Knicks have seen the entire season. Can Carmelo generate enough offense to keep the Knicks in this game?
Here's Douglas. That was a 3-point attempt, kept alive. Rondo moving up on Anthony swinging the ball, nearly made contact. Good job here by Rondo staying with Carmelo. Rebounded by Allen.
Boy, great job by Rondo, staying down, not going for that pump fake.
Here's Rondo putting the ball between his legs, finding Pierce for 3. Timeout called by the Knicks. It's a 12-3 run for the Celtics. And as we head to break, let's take a look at the all-new Chrysler 300C in the streets of Boston.
5. If you don't think the Knicks are worried about the transition play of Rajon Rondo, watch this play. Finally, they're getting everybody in the paint surrounding him, but this is the result. You push the ball ahead. Now you've got the trailer on the weak side. It could be Allen. This time it's Paul Pierce. Rondo finds him the open three. And this is what Rondo does so well. He pushes the ball hard, and then Pierce and Allen really don't run to the rim. They always run to the three-point line. And I think Boston does that better than anybody in the league. Rondo pushing and then finding trailing three-point shooters.
Knicks without a field goal in nearly 4.5 minutes. Foul is away from the ball. That is the second on Pierce. Carmelo Anthony hit a three to start the third quarter. Since then, the Knicks missing 5 consecutive shots.
Well, they're shooting 31% for the game, and without Amari, presumably for the rest of the game, how are they going to get enough offense?
Douglas trying to pull it back. One on the shot clock, and he fires and hits. That's a three for Tony Douglas, just beating the 24 to bring the Knicks within 2.
Well, he's the guy for New York, because you know you're going to get some points from Carmelo, but Douglas can heat up in a hurry.
As can Ray Allen, who hits his second three of this third quarter. He's 3 for 3 now from downtown. 59-54. Celtics with the lead. There is Sean Williams. That shot partially blocked. But Anthony is right there. Carmelo Anthony with the bucket, and he was fouled.
Marv, that was Carmelo Anthony's 13th rebound in this game, and just a sign of his activity level coming into this ballgame. Look at him searching for a loose ball. For whatever happens, he gets it, and he's so good at that. Just converting with strength, the ability to absorb a little contact and finish the play.
And 13 rebounds is a playoff career high. Unable to convert a free throw. 21 points, 13 rebounds, 4 assists for Anthony. Boston with the ball up by 3, just under 6 remaining in the third quarter. Rondo again given the outside shot. Nice ball fake, and then he lost it. Picked off by Douglas. Douglas on the move. Missed the layup. Chased down by Williams. Anthony for 3 with the quick release. Oh! And a technical foul has been called as Ray Allen was shoved. He went down hard. May have been Bill Walker. Yes, it is Walker who was called for the technical and the foul.
Well, great pass from Walker, finding Anthony, and then he just, I don't know if that's a technical. That's a foul for sure. He pushes him over, but Allen with a little bit of an acting job there, and he gets the call.
Knick teammates were not happy with Bill Walker as Pierce converts on the technical, so the Celtics back up by a point.
Meanwhile, interesting lineup out here for New York. You've got Douglas at the point, then you've got a very big group of swingmen with Sean Williams, Anthony, and Bill Walker to go with Turiaf. And as a result, last possession anyway, we had Carmelo Anthony guarding Rondo, with Douglas chasing Ray Allen. So interesting matchups here, and we'll see how Carmelo does with Rondo.
Well, Stoudemire out with the back problems. We're not sure whether he will or will not return. Phillips is out for the game with that knee injury. So in effect, I do not mean this disrespectfully, it's Carmelo and a bunch of guys.
It is, but sometimes that's enough if those guys just compete and play hard defensively and hit the glass.
Allen shaken up, but apparently all right after that shove. Pierce played by Walker. Rondo directing traffic and left it for Pierce. Yes. Celtics have hit 7 of 10 from the field in this third quarter and lead by 3. Here's Douglas, nice move. And he draws the foul. Douglas foul in the act. He'll go to the line. Jermaine O'Neal called for the foul. That is his fourth. Fear the Skies, Face the Enemy, Fight for Survival from TNT and DreamWorks Television. Falling Skies series premiere this June only on TNT. Looks like Big Baby Davis getting set to come on for Jermaine O'Neal. Steve, this is an extraordinary run here in Boston. If you are a sports fan, Celtics and Knicks involved in this playoff series. Bruins and Canadians going at each other in the NHL playoffs. Bruins winning in Montreal last night. Get back into the series yesterday at Fenway. Red Sox make it 3 straight. They're now 5-10 after the 4 start, playing tonight out on the West Coast. And yesterday on Patriots Day, the 115th annual Boston Marathon. All going on here in Boston. Steve, the schedule working out well for you. I know you were training extensively for the marathon. Timing worked out.
Yeah. How about the world record that was set?
Right.
2 hours and 3 minutes. Basically a 26-mile sprint. It's just incredible.
I wonder how Rondo would do.
Yeah,
under those conditions.
pretty well the first couple miles. I don't know about after that.
Pierce popped it out, but picked off by Douglas. Against the backpedaling Allen, pulls it back. The shooters on the floor for the Knicks are Carmelo Anthony and Tony Douglas. Anthony rims out. Good job by Davis on the box out.
Well, we're getting late in the third quarter, Marvin. It's about time for the bench players for both teams to come in as Allen knocks down the 3 in transition. But Marv, I am really looking for what's going to happen with these respective benches over the next 6-8 minutes, because the Celtics bench really struggled in the first half, and the Knicks don't have much of a bench with Stoudemire and Billups out.
The bench is on the floor.
Yeah, that's right. So will they get tired?
Knicks turn it over, the ball back to the Celtics. Ray Allen is now 4 for 4 from beyond the three-point line, and obviously loves that particular spot at the elbow.
Loves that spot, and this is when Boston is at their best. When they work the ball offensively from side to side, they get misdirection action, and they find Allen off those screens. And conversely, that's where New York struggles defensively. Force them to defend not just the first option, but the second or third, and you'll find an open look.
Jeff Green has come on for Kevin Garnett. 3.5 to play in the third. Green with the fake. Rebounded by Carmelo Anthony. 14 rebounds along with 24 points. Carmelo now played by Davis with help. Allen comes over. Walker fires one up. Rebounded by Green. Rondo accelerates. Met by Douglas. Now Rondo sweeping in. Yes! And the foul. Douglas with his 4th personal.
I don't know how he does it, Marv. I was about to say good transition defense from the Knicks, but this guy finds something out of nothing. And Carmelo's just standing straight up. Doesn't help at all, and didn't want to leave the three-point shooter, and Rondo sees that angle, somehow slithers in there and gets that shot off. He's amazing.
And so effective at playing the angles, not effective at the foul line. Boston by 6. Roger Mason back on the floor, appearing in only 26 games during the regular season and seeing action here tonight. He's had his moments in the past as a member of the San Antonio Spurs. Foul is called on Green. Boston over the foul limit. 3rd on Green. Just under 3 to go in the third. Celtics taking command in this third quarter.
One of the most important things for most athletes, and I think parents in general, is that we can't give a kid a chance to grow up and have success in their lives. There's an opportunity to be able to point a kid in the right direction. We want the young kids to make America and the world better, so it definitely is important for us to make sure that we do guide our youth. I'm Ray Allen of the Boston Celtics. Enjoy the rest of the game.
And Ray Allen has been enjoying this third quarter. He now has hit 4 from downtown with just under 3 minutes remaining in the third, and the Celtics have a 6-point lead. Carmelo Anthony to the line. He's 3 of 4 at the line. It's 25 points. 9 of 21 from the field overall. 3 from downtown, along with the 14 rebounds, which is a playoff career high.
All right, Marv, with 15 minutes left in this game, you look at the Knicks bench, and as you can see, Flo, Grayson, you wonder about good conditioning. She's in great shape. She ran the marathon yesterday. Pretty impressive.
Off the trap, Allen gets it to Rondo. Here is Green. Jeff Green with a three-pointer, and Doc Rivers hoping that gets him going. You talked about the fact that he has not been comfortable since coming over from Oklahoma City.
And we talked also about the respected bench play, and that's a huge shot for Green, giving him some confidence. And meanwhile, for the Knicks, Mason coming off the bench, but where else are they going to get some help? These guys are going to get tired.
Pierce with that block on Walker. Here comes Rondo.
2 minutes to play.
Rondo leading Green, who is fouled by Mason. And now we are told by the Knicks that Amari Stoudemire will not return.
Well, you talk about depleted. No Billups, no Amari. And you look at the bench now for the Knicks. Turioff is there. Derek Brown, who rarely plays. Sheldon Williams, who rarely plays. Fields, who has been ineffective to this point. Andy Routens, who has a suit on. So I don't think he's going to help. This is danger time for the Knicks. I mean, especially the way the Celtics play defense. I mean, they wear everybody out.
Here is Green again trying from downtown. Was that a knock against Andy Routen's suit?
That was a beautiful suit. It's just
want to clear that up.
Okay.
Walker lost it. Pierce on it. Recovered by Mason. And he comes up with air. So the ball back to the Celtics.
And Mike D'Antoni trying to encourage his team. I mean, he knows this is sort of make or break here. 1:32 left. His team really needs to close this quarter out well and keep it respectable. Get his guys to the bench for a couple minutes rest. But with the lack of depth against a team that has owned New York in the fourth quarter anyway, even with the starters, this is not looking good.
Pierce extends to a 9-point Celtic lead, and Boston has hit 11 of 16 from the field in the third. The Knicks just 4 of 15. Jeffrey sets the pick for Anthony. Here's Williams, stripped by Green, saved by Pierce. Final minute of the third. Pierce with the spin, Pierce with the shot.
Great call from Doc Rivers, putting Roger Mason in the pick and roll, forcing the switch, and Paul Pierce able to shoot right over the smaller Mason.
Celtics have their biggest lead of the night. Here is Anthony.
Boy, did they need that.
Carmelo Anthony with 28 points. Apparently a problem with the clock.
What was the start? When we started?
Well, Knicks just shot themselves into a 2-for-1 here if they can make a stop and get a rebound.
But Doc Rivers wanted to inbound the ball.
Yeah. Done that a few times before.
Official Michael Smith over to check the clock. Paul Pierce has hit all 5 of his shot attempts here in the third quarter and working it down. 10 on the shot clock. Pierce over Mason. Knicks should hold for a final shot of the quarter. Jeff Green is on Carmelo Anthony. And a foul, not a good foul by Green with Boston over the limit.
And Doc Rivers can't believe it, but Carmelo made the move and got the contact, and I think that was a foul. I thought that was a good call from the officials. Take a look. Green thinks he has position here, but there's a bump. That's a good call. Second look at it, and Carmelo is just so quick and strong, and he loves going left. You know, he's so adept at putting the ball through his legs and then giving you that little hesitation move. And Green probably physically about as well suited to cover Carmelo as anybody around, but Carmelo just too good.
Fifth foul in just 12 minutes of play on Green. Anthony now 6 of 7 at the line. 13 of his 29 points have come here in the third. And
an important finish to this quarter for New York. They get the jumper from Carmelo, then a couple of free throws. They can make a stop here. You know, they've climbed to within 8. At least they're within range.
Final seconds of the third as Pierce moves it across, lost the dribble. Walker fires. Oh, he went rim just to the right.
Like TJ Ford last night for the Pacers.
Celtics outscored the Knicks 30-22 in the third. Boston now shooting 50% for the game. They're up 74-67.